The color review today is Wind's Breath by Benjamin Moore, and as your room decor color expert, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about this paint color, and I'm going to give you some valuable tips that you should follow before deciding to paint this color in your home. So let's go. I want to share with you something that's really interesting because I want you to understand why off-white paint colors are so complicated. So right over here is a Benjamin Moore fan deck, and right here is an off-white collection, and this is where you'll find Wind's Breath. Notice all the tones and shades, but you won't be able to identify most of the color undertones unless you've had the chance to work with a particular paint color or you're a professional color consultant. So the bottom line is off-white paint colors are complicated, and Wind's Breath is no exception. So having said that, let's take a closer look at Wind's Breath and let's talk about the color. Right here is Wind's Breath by Benjamin Moore. It's a beautiful off-white paint color, but it doesn't really look like a white, right? Now, I want to show you something. Watch this. When I compare this with taupe tone, look what just happened. This is a light taupe. It's got a little bit of a yellow undertone. It's got some warmth to it, but it also has a little bit of a pink undertone. Now, I want all of you to know that this paint color, if you decide to paint it in your room, you need to be really careful on what other color undertones that you may pair it with, especially if you have a lot of pink undertones. Next, I want to show you how light or how warm Wind's Breath is by comparing it to other paint colors and why you need to get this right. By the way, if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. I give you valuable information like you're seeing right here in this video. All right, let's get back to it. I say this like a broken record, and it's important for me to talk about it from time to time. You can never say a paint color is warmer or cooler or darker or lighter without comparing it to another color. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Watch this. This is Wind's Breath. Now, I'm going to compare this with Balanced Beige by Sherwin-Williams. Look what just happened. Wind's Breath is cooler than Balanced Beige. But when I compare this with Pale Oak by Benjamin Moore, look what just happened. Wind's Breath is warmer than Pale Oak. So this is why it's so important to compare Wind's Breath with both your fixed and furnished items that you may have in your home, because this is the only way you'll be able to truly identify if this paint color is really going to be lighter or darker or cooler or warmer. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The next step that you need to make sure that you do is to make sure that the undertones of Wind's Breath will be compatible with all the other undertones that you may have in your home. If you skip this step or you don't identify the undertones correctly, it could be a really expensive mistake, and I don't want that to happen to you. Next, I'm going to show you a couple examples on how to compare Wind's Breath with your kitchen countertops and why this is important to know. For those of you out there that have a home that was built in the Tuscan trend era, chances are you have a kitchen countertop that looks like this. You got some orange, some reds, and even some deep dark browns. Now, when I compare this with Wind's Breath, it does work, but this doesn't necessarily mean this could be the right fit for your home, especially if you have a lot of deep earthy undertones. And for those of you that are looking for a paint color where you want to transition to something fresh, I would not recommend this paint color. Now, for those of you out there that have a home that was built in the mid-2000s, chances are you have a kitchen countertop like this. Maybe it's got some violet undertones and some blue-gray undertones. Now, when I compare it with Wind's Breath, technically it does work, but you also need to be mindful on the type of undertones that you may have in your kitchen cabinets or kitchen flooring. So that's something to be mindful of. Now, for those of you out there that have a kitchen countertop that looks like this with some taupe tones, when I compare this with Wind's Breath, it's a beautiful match. It's going to make your kitchen feel open and refreshed. So this is why it's so important to compare Wind's Breath with the fixed elements that you may have in your room. I want to know how many of you out there are a fan of taupe paint colors. And if you are, let me know by typing in yes. But if you're not a fan of taupe paint colors, I want to know why. So let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your comments. So chime in. By the way, if you need help on finding the perfect paint colors and you want it professionally done, then feel free to check out the link in the description section down below. I show you how I can help you with any of my online packages, regardless where you live in North America. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.